But do you say cool beans hot rice?
Never heard that one.
Never. I say cool beans hot rice.
That must be some Florida stuff.
I don't know.
Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Beff, and this is Chey Ne'Chelle, and we are here with Sevyn Streeter. She just put on an amazing show here in Houston at the House of Blues. How did you like tonight? How did you feel?
Man, so amazing. I love Houston, maybe because I'm country, so I just fit right on in. Southern, so it was just, man, so much fun. My street team, they always come out, they show up, they show out, they sing with me, and tonight was just, it was no different. It was really amazing.
That's great. That's great. So, first question. Call Me Crazy But and Should Have Been There were like phenomenal EPs.
Thank you.
We consider them albums, really. How would you like describe how you attack Girl Disrupted differently than the first two?
Well, for one, it's more songs.
Okay.
Way more songs. But you know what though? I approach every project with the same mindset, the same. They're all important to me. You know what I mean? They're bodies of work that I'm putting out into the world. So whether it's an EP or it's an album, it's just the same intensity for me. But with Girl Disrupted, it's a tad bit more special only because it's my first album, and you only get one first album. So if I was anal and crazy about sounds and chords and lines and lyrics and everything else on the EPs, I was like 10 times crazier with this particular my album. Yeah.
Right. So a lot of your releases have been like visual heavy. So we always have lots of great music videos for you. So how do you think that impacts the success of the songs, the EP? And I know you're putting out one video per single, right?
Yeah, for Girl Disrupted, we put out a visual for every single that we put out. And I just think that, growing up, I was always a fan of artists who made the visuals just as important as the songs. Like, I grew up in the 90s where videos were everything. You know what I mean? Like Janet Jackson video, girl. Like, Destiny's Child videos in the 2000s. Like, videos were everything. And so I grew up saying, ooh, when I become an artist and I can do it, I'm going to do a video for everything. And so here we are, and I do videos for everything. I think for one, too, because sometimes it helps paint the picture of where my mind was when I wrote the records. You know what I mean? And I like for the fans to come and get completely lost in my world. And they get lost in the song, but to give them a visual to go along with it, I like to take them someplace else.
So you just brought up like the 90s videos, and we can tell like a lot of your music is 90s inspired. We got Before I Do, we have like that whole Aaliyah vibe with It Won't Stop as well. And then with Should Have Been There, the EP, we got that whole Miseducation, the Lauryn Hill vibe going on with the interludes. So what are your other 90s influences, and what else inspires you?
Honestly, chords, like musical chords and changes, and I'm a huge fan of just things being musical. I feel like this day and age, you don't really get a lot of it. You know what I mean? Everything is super trap heavy, which I love too, because I'm from Florida, so we love our trap.
Right.
But with R&B music, even with R&B music these days, you don't even get
the
musicality of it. So that is something that I definitely, I take that from the 90s as well, and you hear a lot of that on this album.
Right. So when you're in the studio, we know you write. So how hands-on are you with the production? You just talked about chords a lot.
Very.
So are you doing like vocal arrangements and things like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like the harmonies that you hear, a lot of those are my brainchild. Like and my engineers get so mad at me because I'm like, all right, give me another track. I give me another track. I give me another track. He'd be like, okay, Sev, I gotta create more tracks. You gotta give me 5 minutes. And by the time we're done, it's literally, it can easily be 10 to 15 tracks of just backgrounds. And that's just backs. Because I just like to, I just hear all types of harmonies and melodies and oohs and ahs, whatever. Sometimes it's me just smacking my lips. It don't matter, but all of that is super duper important to me. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So change of pace. Recently with the controversy with the 76ers, with the We Matter jersey, after the organization initiated the apology,
right.
How did you decide? Did you have a conflict of if you're gonna perform again, or how it would make your fans feel if you went back and did it still?
Well, you know what? For me, my intentions were always pure.
Okay.
And I say this all the time, when your intentions are pure, you know, it doesn't, when your intentions are pure, one no or one situation isn't going to stop you from going through what you were intentionally trying to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And my intentions were just to spread awareness about injustice.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, regardless of the fact that they told me that I couldn't do it the first time, you know, with them coming back around and apologizing and welcoming me to come back and sing it, guess what? My intentions were still pure. So
Yeah.
I still get to go back and do what I set out to do in the first place. Sing the national anthem and spread awareness about injustice. Now it just so happened that they brought more attention to the injustice that I was speaking of.
Right. Exactly.
So more people know that we matter. So my intentions were pure. So I never thought, you know, I was always, you know, ready to go back and to sing the anthem. And then on top of that, you know, we were able, the 76ers and I were able to partner together and do some really amazing things for the Boys and Girls Club. So we had like 15 kids come to the arena the day that I went back. We got them early Christmas presents.
Oh,
they got
nice.
to play in the arena all day. So it's just like when you know, when something that was, you know, not so great to go through ends up affecting the lives of children and making their day. Like this one little girl was about to cry and they're opening up their present. She was like, ain't nobody ever did nothing like this for me before.
That's what it's
You
all
know what
about.
I mean? So it's like
That's what it's all about.
intentions, pure intentions. And so, you know, that's where my head was.
So we have to talk about some songs.
Yes.
Okay.
Bands,
Yes.
Shattered,
Yes.
Boomerang,
Yes.
and though it's not your voice, but you wrote it,
Hello.
Pieces.
Can we talk about pieces?
Songs like that get us through a lot. We want to know what
Amen.
songs get you through.
Well, I'll speak on those songs. Pieces, I'll be all the way transparent. I actually never really intended on selling pieces.
Oh.
I didn't, and that's the first time I ever said that. It was shopped and sold, really without me really knowing like that. That song came from a really, really, really personal place. I cried during that session, writing that record, because I really meant that. I was dealing with my ex, one of my exes, and just really felt like why do you keep giving me bits and pieces of you when I give you all of me?
Preach.
Like, I don't want your pieces. Like, I don't want little fragmented pieces. And I was on the floor at Kendrick's house. He's one of the producers, crying, writing that record. And so, you know, but once it was told to me that it was being shopped and that they were interested in it. For me, the way that I decide on what I keep and what I sell, if a record isn't going to be a single for me, then it's no point for me to just have it sitting on one of my projects. If I can make a coin from it, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead. You know what I mean? I was. It didn't bother me after that. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be a single for me. I'll sell it. And then on top of that, Tamar did it justice.
It's
you know
a
what I mean?
word to it.
She killed the record, and that always helps as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, speaking about like your songwriting, that's pretty much what got you in the door with Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I loved hearing when you told the story about how you kind of met Chris Brown and got in the studio with him,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all about drive and tenacity.
Yeah.
And I thought that really made you stick out as far as songwriters and just an artist in general. How does that like drive and tenacity like transfer over into other aspects of your life?
It's still there. It's never gone anywhere. Like, I'm still the same girl that walked up to Chris and said, "Hey, can I write with you?" I'm still that same girl. I still believe in work ethic over everything. Work ethic over what you look like.
Right.
Work ethic over, you know, everything. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, nobody can ever take that away from me. So it's still there. I still work my ass off.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Lastly, what would you say to someone who's discouraged about stating their purpose and living through their purpose in their dream?
that fear is normal, fear is natural. It ain't not, but there isn't one person that has not felt discouraged. There isn't one successful person that hasn't felt discouraged at one point or another. It's normal. I encourage people to allow yourself, I said this earlier today too, allow yourself, if you feel a little nervous, it's okay, like, admit it, but you gotta admit it and work your way through it. You can't, wallow in it and stay in it. You admit it, okay, I'm nervous about this. Okay, if I'm nervous about it, well, what can I do to make myself less nervous? What's making me nervous? Is it that I don't feel like I'm prepared enough? Is it that, go through your checklist. And then once you write things out and figure it out, then you go and find solutions for everything on your checklist. You got to work backwards like that sometimes. You work from your fear to your success. You feel me?
All right. Well, we enjoyed speaking with you, Sevyn.
Same here.
Thanks for dropping a couple of gems on us about finding your purpose. Come on, you told us about that Pieces record, all of that.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you.
No, I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you. Keep advertising for us and advocating for us completely because we do matter.
What up, you guys? It's your girl, Sevyn Streeter, and I'm hanging out with 22 minus 11. Make sure you check out my debut album, Girl Disrupted, coming this spring.